My name's Sean Hussey. Originally, I met Josh and Jerome when we worked together at a company they had started in the past. That company became very successful, and ultimately they had the choice of carrying on with that company or cashing out and moving on to Davinci. Obviously, they moved on to Davinci, and that's where I met them and how I heard about the company. My experience with Josh and Jerome working together is I'm often working with two sides of the same coin. Quite frankly, they both, how should I say, fortify each other's strengths, and they mitigate each other's weaknesses. Jerome's more of a driver, a strategist. He's the type of person that sees the mission, puts the plan together, and then executes it. On the other side, you have Josh, who, although he does hold a lot of those characteristics and traits, he's also more of a visionary and a researcher, and he's the guy that you go to when you have an idea and you say, Josh, what can we do to bring this to fruition? He's the person who drives that home. Jerome then takes those pieces, puts them together, and drives the company, the company effort in the same direction. The approach is clear. Everybody knows what the timelines are, what the available resources are, and what the expected delivery is. When you put things in those perspective, it makes it easy for people that are also supporting the effort to all look towards the same goal, same aim. We know what needs to be done. We know how much time we have to get it done, and then we know what our resources are, whether those be capital or human. It takes a lot of the questioning and the chaos out of trying to get a job done, and eliminates the majority, if not all, the white noise. Would I recommend Jerome and Josh for small business consulting? I certainly would, to the right person, to someone who's actually put the grit in, put the time in, suffered the risks, and is beginning to see the rewards and the growth of their creation, so to speak. There comes a time when people start to plateau and they start to get a little stale in their thought process. While I've watched Jerome and Josh both go through that in their life, as well as get past it with other companies and turn them profitable, sell them, continue running them, or start new ones. The fact of the matter is experience is what it is. It's empirical evidence that they know what they're doing. What have they taught about closing deals and sales and building pipeline and all these things? The first and foremost thing is know who you are, what your company is, what product and service you are able to deliver, and deliver at a high price to value relationship. The second thing is know who sees value in that. Know what customers, know what buyers out there, know what they're looking for, and then match those things, match your capability to their need, and then price it accordingly. And third is structure the deal. Everybody's heard about the bluebird deals when someone calls and then they say, yes, well, I want to send you a purchase order and buy this. Well, the reality is that very rarely happens, and when it does, it's most usually a disaster of a deal because there hasn't been that discovery. So what I learned with them is, if you take time in the beginning of the process, and I'm speaking in terms of the sales process, to understand the customer, understand yourself, understand the customer, understand the need, firmly build expectations on both sides of the fence before you enter into an agreement. At the end of the day, everything's done except for the signing. When it comes time to sit at the closing table and negotiate price, all values on the table, all expectations are on the table. So price is relatively easy to come to, and the signature, the ink dries quickly. I spoke earlier about a sales process and how to line out your priorities and things of that nature. And the reality is if you sit down and you learn how to prioritize what's number one and critical, number two important, and everything else after that just doesn't matter, and you take some of their methods, you get rid of all the white noise, and all of a sudden you're focusing on a few number of important and critical things, and actually accomplishing them in a prioritized manner, rather than trying to focus on everything all at one time and trying to get everything fixed at one time, which ultimately results in getting absolutely nothing done. So sitting down and understanding something of a scientific method in how to prioritize your day frees up a remarkable amount of time. You go home and you spend time with family, you have dinner, you watch some TV, rather than sit and fumble around trying to fix a bunch of things that really don't matter in the first place.